Hi, I'm Tim.
And I'm Jennifer.
We're the Owens Group, and welcome to the Psychology of Everyday Success radio show. Wanted to talk today a little bit about the four elements of purpose. We're going to talk
hmm
about purpose. So, let's start out a little bit just by talking about why purpose is important to success in life. Why does it matter to talk about purpose? So essentially, purpose helps to keep you motivated. It is your reason, your why, right? It's the
hmm
thing that helps you to overcome challenges. If your why is big enough, if your reason is big enough, it doesn't matter what the problem or the difficulty is, you'll find a way to overcome it, right? And so that's really what we point to for purpose. There's a story told about a woman who had was in a car accident, and her child ended up being pinned underneath the car. And so the car was obviously much bigger than she was, and heavier. And so there was nobody around, and so she had to rely on herself. And what she did was she went and she literally lifted the car up off of her child, allowing little boy to escape. And when the police and the fire it finally did arrive, they asked her, "How did you summon the strength, really, to lift that car?" And she said, "That was easy." She said it was because my son was pinned underneath there, and I knew that if I didn't get him out, he wouldn't make it. He wouldn't survive. So if your reason is big enough, if your purpose is big enough, then it doesn't matter what the problem is. You'll be able to overcome it. And so that's one of the reasons that purpose is extremely important when we talk about success in life. You need to know why you're on the planet, what you're here for, right, and how that then can impact you. So, Jim, what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, the word summoning strength,
Mm,
I think that really kind of brings it out for me and makes it really clear. When there's been times where I've summoned strength to be a motivating force for me when I wanted to speak up for someone or make sure someone had their voice, or they were able to pursue something well. And so summoning that strength, sometimes that comes from an inner place.
oh man, absolutely. And it's a function of your why, your purpose,
Mhm.
your reason for getting out of bed in the morning, your reason for being on the planet. So there are four elements of purpose we want to talk about today. And Jen,
Yes.
I think you were going to introduce the first one.
Yeah, the first motivating element of purpose is passion.
Mm,
And so your passion points to your purpose. And what is something that you're so passionate about that you would pursue it, whether anyone pays you to do it or not? Um, and I think, for me,
yeah.
I have ways that I live out my passion. And so for me, it's through writing, it's through teaching, it's through bringing women together. When those three come together, it's like a collision of motivating force.
Yeah.
And I get in my groove thing and
Mm.
I just start going.
Oh, absolutely.
And it just naturally flows for me from
Yeah.
that point. Whatever needs to be said, whatever points need to be made, whatever function I feel like I'm having, I am in my passion. And it just kind of eases and oozes out very well.
Yeah. Absolutely. Passion for me, it looks real similar, actually. I mean, obviously, we do this together, this work together. For me, passion is about building people, right? As a matter of
hmm
fact, that's kind of our motto. We build people. That's what we do where the Owens Group is concerned.
hmm
And so, and what's important to me, what I would do that whether I got paid to do it or not. I've been doing that
hmm
since I've known myself, right? And I'm going to do it eventually down the road, no matter what's happening in my life, no matter how
Yes.
old I get, because you never really outlive your purpose. Your purpose is something you pursue for the rest of your life. Yeah.
hmm
Right now, I build people as a counselor, as a therapist, as a clinician. Uh, I haven't always done it that way, but eventually I'll do it in other ways as well. So
Yes.
yeah, so that's kind of passion for me. So the next piece, so passion is the first element we want to talk about. If you understand what your passion is, that helps to point you to your purpose. The second element of purpose is key life experiences. So what are the key life experiences in your past that have fundamentally changed or influenced the direction of your life? So what
Mhm.
we often say is that sometimes your purpose finds you before you find your purpose, right? Because if you look back over your life, you can probably see some key life experiences, some things that have happened in your life that have
Mhm.
really moved you in the direction of purpose. I remember when I was one of my first jobs in as a counselor was I was working in North Texas at a boys correctional facility. It was actually a criminal justice facility, and boys would come through there, and it was my job as a counselor advisor to help them to identify what they might want to do with their lives going forward. And man, that was powerful for me because many of these boys had been selling drugs or using drugs, had been in trouble with police for a number of years, and I was able then to really have a positive impact, I believe, on their lives. Sometimes we had to measure success in small increments, but
Mhm.
that was a key life experience for me that really helped to direct what I do even now. What about you,
Yeah.
Jen?
Yeah, I think for me, a key life experience, because it was so foundational and life shaking for me. It was when I was in a past relationship and I was depressed for
Mm,
approximately about 10 years. I'm
wow,
talking about severely, majorly depressed to the point
wow,
sometimes it was hard to just get up out of bed.
my goodness.
And so I internalized a lot of oppression in that relationship to the point where my self-esteem was gone.
Mm,
I had a lot of self-hate. I really wasn't motivated to do much of anything. But at the same time, I was living my passion. So it kind of leveled out a little bit. I was working with children as a school social worker, and every day I went to work, I had my passion in line.
mm,
So, it motivated me still to get up and go and do what I needed to do. But through this key life experience, I found my voice. I spoke up for myself. I even found some joy eventually because I got out of that relationship.
wow, wow, powerful. Absolutely. And sometimes key life experiences aren't always necessarily happy ones, you know.
Mm-mm.
Sometimes but they shape our lives and they move us
That's right.
in a given direction. And what's true is often we have many key life experiences as we look back.
That's
So it's
true.
important to look back at your life and see what are some of the things that have been key for you in terms of
Yes,
experiences.
definitely.
Yeah. So what's the next one, Jen?
Well, the next one is people groups.
Yeah, people.
So yeah, people groups are who are the people beyond yourself and your immediate family. So move them out the way.
Yeah.
That you're called to positively impact.
Mm,
Often your pain tends to point to your people group, and then there's usually some kind of purpose in your pain. My people group is usually women, women who have been hurt by several forms of, through relationships, through domestic violence, helping women overcome self-hate, self-contempt, or any kind of divorce issues, but essentially helping women who've been hurt. And I think that's my people group. I tend to, because I've been a woman that has been hurt, I identify with that group and some very deep levels.
wow.
And so I feel like I can really help now that I'm healed and on the other side, but still got work
Mm,
to do.
sure. Mm.
I can help them begin to see some parts of themselves that are very important as well.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, for me, the people group that I tend to resonate with is adolescent boys and men, people
Hmm.
who are males who are really trying to find themselves, trying to figure out what is it that gives them worth, value, and significance.
Hmm.
How is it that they can move forward and really become the best versions of themselves possible. And often those are guys who have found themselves in some kind of challenge. Maybe they've done time, maybe they've been experienced an addiction or what have you. But that's my people group, and I think it's important to notice that your people group, your pain points to your people group. Um,
Hmm.
That's so key. Often we think
Yeah.
we just go through pain, but really there's purpose in your pain, and it tends to point to your people group.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So the last one, uh, your team, your tribe. Who's your team? Who are the
Mhm.
people who have similar passions, similar key life experiences, and are called to the same people group as you, who will kind of lock arms with you and pursue purpose with you? What we say is that if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go
Yes.
far, go with a team, go with a tribe. The acronym for team I love is together everyone achieves more. So nobody really fully realizes and pursues purpose successfully without having a team of people around them. Purpose is not something you do individually and by yourself. It's something you
Right.
do in community and as a part of a team.
Hmm.
So just by way of review, so we talked about 4 elements of purpose: passion, understanding what your passion is, uh, having identifying what your key life experiences have been, right? That kind of point you in the direction of purpose. Who are the people? What is the people group that you've actually, kind of fallen in love with, and who you have credibility with, because you can
Right.
identify with their pain. And then what's the team or tribe that you find yourself being a part of,
Yeah.
and moving it forward in that
Mentor
way?
my sister.
Ah, say more
That's for
about that,
me.
man.
Just a group that of women that I've brought together very unintentionally, but women
Yeah,
who kind of thrive on the same purpose of leadership and ridding oppression.
yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
So all of that's absolutely critical going forward.
Thanks for
Yeah,
listening
so
to us today.
yeah, I think we're gonna put a pin in it right there, and listen, come and join us, be a part of our group. We've started an intentional community of people who are pursuing success on an everyday basis, comprehensive success, not just who has the most money and all of that stuff, but really it's really about how do I become my best self and live my best life.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. We look forward to next time. You take care now.
All right. Take care.
Bye bye.